Game 2 is not over, but I mean, it was over in the first quarter. So we're going to get an early start here on Locked On Nuggets. We'll talk about the Thunder doing what they had to and evening the series. But guess what? Margin of victory doesn't matter. It's 1-1 and head back to Denver. Coming up on Locked On Nuggets.
You are Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Nuggets, your daily Nuggets podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for joining us and making this part of your day. I just realized we're going to get in before the postcast. We're going to be in before Anil does the postcast.
We should schedule it. Oh, we should schedule it for after. Just keep it in line with everything, but who cares?
Yeah, we're recording this. The Nuggets are down 40-something in the fourth quarter of Game 2 versus the Thunder.
I have my takeaways. I'm good.
we thought we'd go ahead and get started on this. Oh, come on, Himyas. Come on. This is Matt's fault. He didn't pick the Thunder. Come on, man.
And you're like, I don't know, man. Maybe the Nuggets could take Game 2.
Cannot win for losing. Oh.
So can we start here? This is what should have happened in Game 1, and Game 1 is what should have happened in Game 2. We got it wrong. We're sorry. This sucked.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the problem is the context changes there. I hear what you're saying, and I'm with you because it's like, man, if we flip these results, we would have looked so smart. Here's the thing, though, is like,
but we're not.
Denver got that game, so that changes the approach for both teams, right? Course. Like, yeah. OKC doesn't come in, OKC did not come out trying to kill them in Game 1. OKC was, and we see this in a lot of these series, why the road teams have done so well is like a lot of these home teams are like, okay, we'll just kind of settle in here and, get warmed up a little bit. Bam. Okay. All right. You hit me in the face, but like, it's a fine. We're just going to bam. Okay. Warm up. Like, that's what happens is like they're bleeding and busted open and concussed, and then they don't get up. And then this one, it was like, look, they were down 0-1. You have to come out and do this or you wind up like Boston.
Yeah.
Like they just watched the Boston Celtics blow a 20-point lead in that locker room. That guarantee you that TV was on. And the Thunder came out and did what they had to do. Like the Thunder had to respond in this game, and they did. And we will talk about the officiating because like I was like, I don't really want to talk about it. I don't think it was
they're down 47.
But like it's 47. Like no amount of officiating changes this. The Thunder came out, took the ball from you, pressured Jamal Murray, cut off the oxygen, got in passing lanes, forced turnovers, scored super efficiently. The defense is honestly the biggest problem. Like that's the bigger thing that probably is like, okay, guys, like they're now in rhythm and have showed some stuff. You're going to have to really bring it again in Game 3 in order to get that offense cool back down again, because you can't win these fights with the amount of firepower that OKC brings to the table with, like, if their shooters are going to hit shots. Now, maybe they won't on the road. That's a fair point. But Denver's effort on a starting level has got to be better, or this is what happens. But it's also like, look, it's the Game 2 thing that I've talked about. Like, they suck in Game 2s. They're not good in Game 2s. Adam was commenting on this after, I think it was CT was the one that tweeted it. There's always a game in the series where the Nuggets get absolutely blown out, just like erased off the map, and it doesn't matter. And in previous series, I've overreacted to those games. And honestly, like if it wasn't for the Clipper series, I would be overreacting right now and be like, but also it's like, look, they got the split. That's all you needed. You were the dog. You needed to get a split, go home, win 2 games. You win 2 games in a row versus OKC, and it is 3-1, and it's not done, but you've done the job of putting yourself in the position that you need to. People are mad because I said was like, look, now OKC's done what they needed to, because now OKC can get a split and go back being like, all right, we just got to win 2 out of 3. We're fine. It's a 2 out of 3 at home. And people were like, they just won in OKC. I get it. Denver needs to win too, because they need to put the Thunder as far to the edge as possible, because OKC has a better team. I cannot sit here and tell you that the Denver Nuggets have a better team than the team that won 60 whatever games and have the best point differential in NBA history. They don't have to win. They don't have to be better than them. They just have to be better than them in this series 4 times. That's it. And they've got 1. They got to do it 3 more times, and that's it. but to put them at the edge is really important. That's all I was trying to say. The Nuggets can win the series if it's 2-2, head back to OKC.
Yes.
Nuggets can win this game in series at 6 if it goes back to OKC 2-2. But for OKC, they needed to get off of the panic ledge that Cleveland and Boston are now in, which is you lose game 3 and your season's over. It's done for them. And now OKC gets to play a little bit easier and breathe. That's it.
And you're right about that. They watched both of those teams, Cleveland and Boston, go down 0-2 when they were at home. And I think they realized to themselves, hey, we've got an opportunity here if we don't screw this up. We know that Denver's not going to bring their best stuff. And Denver clearly didn't. This was, I think, part of it. Denver allowed themselves to go down 24 points in that first quarter. And a lot of it was self-inflicted. That was not ref stuff. That was not like, I thought the ref stuff really came in like late second quarter and then through the third quarter. That it was mostly then. It was when the game was kind of out of reach already. But like Denver did this to themselves in the first quarter by not hitting the open shots that they were generating, by not doing the right things. Jamal was not bringing the right energy. Jokic started the game 2 of 7. And Mike, like we can get into this now. Mike kind of looks worse for wear in this series. It started out, I think, 1 of 13 in the series overall. And I don't know where he plays in this moment. He did get a couple of shots to go, but like that might be an adjustment that Denver makes, is they might actually pull the plug and decide to start Russ.
No.
It's just never going to happen.
I'll bet you dinner right now that the MPJ will start every game of the series.
All 5 of them?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding. No, I think that.
Jeez, Ryan. Come on.
No, I'm joking. We're having fun here. I'm actually okay because this is kind of what I expected. This is not like I was ready for this moment in game 1, and then Denver had a fantastic win. And you're right. They did the work. They did the job. This looked like a team that knew they got the split already and was more than comfortable going home 1-1.
Okay. Magash says back to reality. He's in shambles now.
At what?
I get told that I want the Nuggets to lose, and then if they lose, I get told that I'm upset. I don't understand. I understand. Like Russ fans are going to think that he should start, obviously, but
sure.
Honestly, you've got a better chance of Russ making an impact if he doesn't start because the offense he gets to touch the ball a lot more. They're still going to need the spacing. And they're going to stick with Mike. They're just not going to abandon him. And I think he's earned that. Like the way that he closed that Clipper series, he's earned the trust in him. Now, it's not a great – I didn't think the Clipper series was going to be one for him. And the Clippers honestly just like mangled applying pressure on him because the Clippers are led by people. The Thunder are going to be a little bit more deliberate about making this harder on him. Like they're going to try and neutralize him entirely. And so, I mean, you notice like AG is still kind of doing stuff. Like this is an AG series. AG is really comfortable in the series. I had the AG. I took AG over on assists as one of my best bets tonight. And he finished with 1. Only needed
AG went, I think, 1 of 9 on 2s tonight. Like that's another story that I do want to bring up. I want to go over to Cleaning the Glass here really quick, see if they have updated their numbers on this.
While you're doing that, I don't feel like his shots were bad. I just feel like they just missed bunnies, and it was an avalanche. It was
also here's the numbers on shots at the rim. OKC shot 13 of 13. Denver shot 2 of 12.
Yeah.
On shots in the short mid range, OKC shot 15 of 23, and Denver shot 11 of 24. Like. It's just those margins that, and like I think some of that also kind of affected by garbage time as well, but it's just those margins that if Denver's going to lose it that thoroughly, like they actually shot the ball from the outside reasonably well. That wasn't the issue. But if you're going to allow OKC to waltz to the paint and do those things, like Jokic has had a really great defensive playoffs overall, but tonight it certainly wasn't one, but also he's just not getting any help down low. And that's something that Mike at 6'10" has to be able to do. Aaron at 6'8" has to be able to do. And Denver's just not getting a lot of rim protection help from anybody when Jokic is out on the perimeter.
I'm going to call out some stuff here because this is important to me from a fan perspective. Will MPJ ever play like he cares? That dude has one shoulder and is out there battling as much as he can.
Yeah.
This is not about care. This is about he's limited, and this is a great defense.
Very
this is
good.
like the perfect defense to combat him. Please, please, please calm him down. Trade MPJ and Murray now. Well, sir, I'm afraid to inform you of something.
I
missed it. No, it's not loaded.
Suck.
Oh,
you suck.
There we go. There it is. Jamal Murray cannot be traded this season due to his extension. He literally cannot be traded until the summer. Thanks.
Hey, summer's coming up.
He also cannot be traded right now because it's past the trade deadline. You can't just trade players in the middle of the playoffs.
That is also true.
Now that's not a thing. Okay. Again, Michael Tefera says MPJ is soft and he can't bang down low. That's just not true. He had 6 rebounds in that win over the Clippers, and a lot of them were really tough ones and a dunk on the inside. Like, that's just not accurate, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, he's had 2 bad games. He's really injured. We got to settle down. And some people are really on tilt about this loss. Guys, you got the split.
They weren't going to go 4-0 in this.
You weren't going to go 4-0. It was not like that's when people last night were like, I think we can get game 2. Ryan and I were like not wanting to. We didn't want to be like, that's ridiculous, because we thought they weren't getting game 1. Yeah. But we were like, come on. Like, you're not sweeping the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah. Like they have too much. It was too relentless. Denver is also like, has Denver ever been a team other than against the LA Lakers where they've swept a team? No, this is just not that kind of team. They go in and out of focus, especially this year. Over and over and over again, they have proven that they are not going to lock in for 4 straight games. That's not what's going to happen.
Yeah. And I mean, look, honestly, Joker's done this enough, and that's why I think he fouled out on purpose. I really think he fouled out on purpose tonight.
Can we talk about that? Like,
coming up, let's talk about some of the officiating and get that toxicity out in a 47-point loss. We'll talk about that coming up on Locked On Nuggets. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time that you had an urgent need, maybe for a plumber or a service provider. If the first person didn't answer, did you wait? Probably not. You moved on. That's why you need OpenPhone. OpenPhone is the #1 business phone system built to streamline and scale your computer communications, all from an app on your phone or computer. OpenPhone lets you manage business calls and texts from a single app. Their shared inbox feature is a game changer. Your team can jump into any conversation instantly without missing a beat. OpenPhone is offering our listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/lockedonnba. I've run small businesses before. It's so important for you to be able to access your customers and not miss calls. Having these kind of tools will be a game changer for your business. I promise. That's openphone.com/lockedonnba. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. We'll be right back on Locked On Nuggets. Back here on Locked On Nuggets. Thanks for joining us and making us part of your day. Everyone is wanting me to fine. I can't win. If I pick the other team and the Nuggets win, I get clowned for it. If I say, well, I'm not going to make a pick because you guys clown me, then everybody's like, why didn't you pick the other team? Rude. I am not. This is absolutely. This is no jinx. The show being called No Jinx.
The show, like you have to make a pick and it has to be wrong. That is the requirement for the show. It's like actually a prerequisite for us being on the show.
If you're coming to Game 3 on Friday night, come by section 130. I got either a No Jinx or a Swipe and Gripe sticker for you for our show. Come on by and grab one. Okay. Tell says, Matt, if you pick the Nuggets to win and they lose, you'll need to hire a bodyguard.
You better play it right, sir.
I don't want to get death threats from Nuggets fans.
That's a whack, guys. Simmer down.
I've gotten death threats from Sixers fans, Rockets fans, Lakers fans, Celtics fans. And Sixers fans like 3 times. Sixers fans go on that list like 4 times. Somebody actually sent me one to my phone. They actually got a hold of my personal phone number and sent me a death threat on my phone. That was nice.
But have you ever been called a ravioli dealer?
So, okay. Let's talk the officiating. For the OKC fans visiting, if you're checking out this video, do not clip this without including this part. The officiating had nothing to do with the outcome. It had absolutely zero to do with the outcome. OKC took this game from Denver. They hit first, fastest, hardest, and last. They beat the ever-loving snot out of Denver in every aspect of basketball: shooting, execution, offense, rebounding, turnover creation, dribbling, passing, standing on the court, the way their uniforms were put on, the smell I'm sure that they put on in the locker room. Like, everything for them was better tonight.
They smell like aura. It's crazy.
Yes, they smell like, that's a great line, Ryan. They smell like aura. However, I understand Nuggets fans' feeling of this was a game, and I think the Nuggets got a generous whistle in game one. Jokic was flailing and drawing touch fouls, and it was a totally different whistle, and the Nuggets got a good whistle in game one.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Good. And in this one, it flipped, and especially off the ball on the interior. This was not a matter of the OKC Thunder darting out from the perimeter and making beautifully timed steals. They were climbing over Joker's back, shoving him out of position, multiple guys banging. He's having to go through 3 guys on these type of plays. Now, part of the reason that he's having to do that and not getting the benefit of the whistle, it's impossible for the official to kind of even see the contact because there's so many guys in the paint, because Christian Brown went 1 of 6 from 3 from the field and 1 of 4 from 3-point range. The Nuggets as a team went 15 of 37 from 3. Michael Porter went 2 of 8. Jamal Murray actually went 3 of 5. He was okay from 3 in this one. But in general, like, those missed open corner threes means that Joker's like, all right, we're not doing that. I got to try and score through them. And there's too many bodies. But it is okay to be like, yes, it doesn't matter. We would have beat you anyway, but we got the favorable whistle tonight. And the problem then is that what Joker has started doing is he gets fouled. He starts trying to draw the fouls more. He's frustrated, so he tries drawing the fouls more. You're giving the other team fouls or touch fouls on the perimeter on Shea and J-Dub. And those guys, J-Dub gets the line for 6 free throws, Chet for 7, Shea 11 free throws in this one. A lot of touch fouls on the drives on the perimeter. And then Joker's getting, like, Hartenstein puts his shoulder into him on a drive and he gets nothing. And Joker, I don't think this is good. It's what he did. Joker decided, all right, well, if you're not going to call it and you're going to call me for fouls anyway, I'm going to make him count. And he fouls out in this game out of frustration. And I don't blame Nuggets fans for being frustrated, because if it was super physical on both sides, if it was just like, yeah, it's blood sport, man, let him go, then I'm like, you got to adapt. It's like, this is just how it is, man. But when it's not even perimeter to interior, what are you supposed to do here? That's not, like, that's just bad officiating, and you're just going to wind up with this inconsistent thing. So I don't blame Nuggets fans for being upset with the officiating in this one, even though it had nothing to do with the outcome.
You know, there were, like, I'm looking at the final box score now. There were 68 free throws attempted in that game. Like, here's the thing. Like, when you're calling that many, and you're calling it, like, you are calling it on both sides, because Denver got 32 and OKC got 36. It's pretty clear that they each got some. But, like, Jokic gets 5 in a situation where he's being fouled from behind. He's got guys climb on his back. He's got guys jumping into his path. And it's certainly, like, there was one it was either late second or early third, I can't remember, where he's at the 15-foot mark and he's trying to pivot into the lane. And it's just a clear blocking foul from somebody sliding into his path and literally stopping his momentum and preventing him from moving any further while he's attempting a shot. But it's Jokic. He's 7 feet tall. He's a big, burly brute. And the OKC guard that gets in his path, it just apparently doesn't matter. It doesn't bother him. But, like, if Shea feels that contact, he immediately shows that contact is being applied to him, and oftentimes will fall to the floor. Oftentimes will get disrupted on what he's doing. Jokic he's sometimes doing that, but also sometimes doesn't. And then, like, when he doesn't do that, he starts to do it more, because, again, as you said, he keeps trying to show it. He's trying to show it. And when you're not allowing it to be, like, when you're not rewarding somebody for showing that contact, then they're going to get frustrated. The ones where it's like, okay, Dort's now being lifted up off the ground by a Jokic screen. Like, are we serious? Dort's like 6'4" and a brick wall. Like, that dude is not, like, the amount of screening fouls that he draws from a small amount of contact from Jokic is insane to me. I don't understand it.
So anyway, have you got it out of your system? Do you need more?
The amount of contact that big Jalen Williams gets away with, where he is a guy who is an artist at drawing the offensive foul, has been since the beginning of time, like at Arkansas. Like this was the exact opportunity for him to do so, because like Scott Foster's reffing game 2. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure when Mark Davis decides to ref game 3, things will go way better.
Mirko Vujovic, the itches be crazy. It looks like this switched momentum regardless of the split. This was terrible. I disagree. So here's my experience covering the NBA. A game 1 road win is like a blowout. It's so devastating to the opponent because they were the favorites, and you get the home crowd, and everybody's like, yay, we beat the Grizzlies by 50. Yay! What? And it's devastating. You have to blow them out in game 2. If the Nuggets had come into this game and made it a game and it was competitive to the wire, OKC is shook going into Denver. Now they're able to be like, all right, hey, bet game 1 was bad. We responded back to reality. It's fine. Now it's on Denver to hit first in game 3 and adjust that, because there is a tendency to kind of like, I will tell you that probably I would say that like, I'm going to like Denver in game. I can't say that because you guys are going to be mad at me if they lose, but I will just say that anecdotally, I would have liked it, regardless of whether they had won game 1 or game 2, I would have liked Denver going into game 3.
Okay.
I would have thought game 3 was a good Denver spot and game 4 is a good Thunder spot. That's how I feel that these games typically go. If you remember, I think the Clippers in a blowout in game 3 and then said the Nuggets will win close in game 4. I think the Nuggets win close in game 3 and get blown out in game 4. That's what I think is probably going to happen.
So Denver at this point is probably just going to have to win close games and survive blowouts. Like just be in a situation where they have to flush it. Like,
welcome to the season. Like,
yeah,
you know, they haven't been good enough, right, to be able to. We've commented on this. Like, they never make it easy. Everything is stressful, right? And so they're not good enough to beat OKC by like 15, 20, 30. They can't blow out OKC. They can get separation in the fourth quarter, maybe win by 15, but like that's the most that they're going to get. They're not going to have a laugher. This team isn't built that way. They don't have a bench. So they're not good enough to be able to create that separation. Every single game is, can you edge your way out in order to be able to get there? Just win the margins, keep it close, win the margins, win the game. That's how they won game 1. And if OKC has a bad shooting night, that gives you a little bit, that gives you a little bit more margin. If Joker has another dominant performance, that gives you a little bit more margin. If the whistle evens out, that gives you a little bit more margin. And that's how you get there. But there isn't going to, I don't think there will be a game in the series where Denver wins by 20 plus. I just don't think that that's a realistic thing that's going to happen.
So where is the adjustment in game 3 then? I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to kind of discuss it, but I'm thinking about different things. It really just has to be like Denver plays better and plays harder and executes their plays a little bit better and does a better job defense. Like they have to cut off the rim defensively a little bit more. That I think is pretty clear. But in terms of the offensive stuff, they turned the ball over 20 times. Jokic had 6 turnovers in part because of the offensive fouls. Russell Westbrook had 4, kind of getting a little bit wild in this game, especially as it went along. I think you probably have to flush it, but like, what is the adjustment if you had to pick one thing that helps you feel good about what Denver's going to do?
I will tell you that Alex Caruso, no, he's still pretty good. I think Lou Dort's probably not going to shoot as well. He was 2 of 9 tonight from 3, but I don't think that he's probably going to shoot well in OKC or in Denver rather.
I don't think Shea's going to have 34 on 13 shots.
He might.
No, he's not going to. Matt, this was a historically efficient shooting performance. I do not think he's going to replicate that.
Sure. I think he can have 34 on 13 shots if he gets to the line enough. So,
great. Yeah.
So, well, I mean, look, this is part of this is all year long. I've complained. Why do you just give up the switch in the 1-4? Why do you give up the switch if it's not Joker? You never scram it. You don't blitz. You don't do anything. You just give him the switch. You can't. I am sorry. You're going to have to give Jamal Murray help against SGA. Like you're just
Aaron Gordon too, for what it's worth. Like,
I don't like Gordon on him either.
Yeah, Aaron needs help in that matchup too.
Like, yeah, that's not. I don't think that's AG. AG is not supposed to be. We got to be very clear on this. AG is a weapon to guard forwards and centers.
Yeah,
he is not built to guard. The idea of him being the perimeter stopper on guards was always like, no, that is not who AG is. Like, that's not it. He is not that. He's not Bam Adebayo.
Yeah. Murray's going to have to be more physical. He's going to have to be more disruptive. He's got to do it without fouling as often as he can. But like, he's got to be a little bit better. But I kind of feel the same way about Murray that you do about Gordon. Like, it's not really his job to be the SGA stopper.
No, but if they're going to give the switch, it is.
What?
If they're going to give the switch, it is.
Okay, but they give the switch with AG as well. They give the switch with Mike as well. So, like, these guys have to step up, all of them. Like, it's not just
okay.
Murray.
No, we're not doing this. There's a huge difference in the kind of shot that he's creating versus AG versus the kind of shot that he's getting versus Jamal. He gets whatever he wants, and it's super easy.
He got everything he wanted against anybody. Like,
dude, we know. Look, we don't. I don't know why we're fighting here. Like, Jamal's not a good.
This isn't a good switch defender.
Jamal's not a good switch defender
from the field.
Jamal's not a good switch defender.
He did great against Kawhi in the second half of the series.
What were the numbers?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I don't think they were. I think Kawhi killed him.
Not in the second half of the series. It felt like he edged that out a lot more. Like game 4, 5, 6, 7, it felt like Murray was a lot better.
I'm seriously asking. Did you do this on Pickaxe and you looked it up? Because I assume that you looked at the map.
No, this is anecdotally.
Oh, anecdotal. Okay, that's fair. I just didn't know. That's why I was checking this. I was like, oh, that's why I asked you what the numbers were. Is I assumed you like written about it as like a credit to him. Jamal, no, like I'm sorry. They have got to get Jamal off of SGA. It is not an now. I'll look at the tracking data. He might have just burned. You're absolutely right. He cooked everybody tonight. Cooked Aaron. But we can admit that the process is better with Aaron. Like if Aaron does everything that he needs to and Shea makes a tough contested mid-range shot, it's a lot different than his ability to get to every spot he wants versus Murray.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna if he's gonna shoot over Murray, like that's you feel better about the bigger guy. I understand that. But like, so you probably need to scram, you probably need to double, you probably need to do a little bit more. And Murray just has to be a little bit more physical. I think he, more than anybody tonight, looked like a guy that was ready for game 3.
The overall numbers were Kawhi was 20 of 32 for 63% versus Jamal. He was 51%.
Oh, well, he started the series like 10 of 10. So that's part
anyway, I think Peyton probably needs to I will continue to say Peyton Watson needs to play more. You agree?
Sure, but like it's never going to happen.
Yeah. Well, okay. Does Russ need to be the guy that maybe brings the double on SGA to try and get that? Or do you just want to? I mean, here's a question: do you think he can just live with Shea?
Yeah, I think there's a world where you can live with Shea as long as you're not allowing Chet to go 7 of 7 at the free throw line, J-Dub to go 5 of 6, Isaiah Hartenstein to go 6 of 7 from the field. Like everybody played well tonight for OKC.
Yeah,
if just like because that's kind of how game 1 went, right? Like Shea played pretty well, and Denver was able to eke it out. They can survive a great Shea game. They just can't survive Shea doing well and everybody else doing amazing.
One thing that's kind of funny in this one is like, okay, Denver shot 32 free throws, 9 of them were in garbage time. Yeah. So it's 36-21, 23, 36-23. That seems about right. They shot 13 more free throws. That tracks. The Thunder only made one more 3-pointer.
It's the rim stuff. It's the rim and the short mid-range and the long, like OKC was just hitting all of those shots inside the arc and Denver hit none of them.
If it's going to have to be the mid-range stuff, if the rim is going to be this tightly compacted, it's going to have to be a Jamal game.
Yeah, I mean, straight up, this is where he's supposed to step up. He was okay in game 1, obviously a non-factor in game 2. Would be nice to see him step up and have a moment in game 3 or game 4. Like one of those, he has to have a game. I'm curious to see whether he can.
And they're going to have to 34 points off of turnovers for OKC.
Yeah, it's like pretty simple. Don't turn the ball over.
This is their game script. Yeah. They've got to tighten up and prevent the turnovers in game 3 at home.
Yeah,
but they can do it. We'll see what happens in game.
I'm not that dejected overall. Like again, as we said at the top of the show, this was going to happen at some point in the series. Yep. we both expected this to happen in game one. It didn't happen in game one. It happened in game two. Nuggets fans have to get that in their head that like this was going to be really, really difficult. And now it's up to Denver to actually show that they can respond. Like, are they made with the resiliency and the metal that they had in the first round? Can they do that against OKC, a better team? I don't know. I don't know the answer, but I do think that they're going to give it their all. We'll see what that counts for.
All right, we'll have you set. We're probably gonna do a 3-man show previewing Game 3 tomorrow with me and Ryan and Swipa. So make sure to check that out in the afternoon. Turn on your notifications at youtube.com/LockedOnNuggets. Join the show. Have a good Thursday. It's still 1-1. You're in fine position, and we'll talk to you tomorrow on Locked On Nuggets.